Tyaktva yashtim sutam bhitam. Mother Yashoda, seeing her darling son Sutam, bhitam, most frightened, tyaktva, she gave away or she threw away yashtim. Yashtim means the punishing stick. And Vijna Arbhaga Vatsala. Arbhaga Vatsala, Prabhupada nicely translates the most affectionate mother of Krishna. No one has as much affection for Krishna in Vatsalya Bhav, in maternal affection, than Mother Yashoda. She is the epitome of Vatsalya Bhav. And Ye Shakil Tam Badhum, desiring indeed Tam Krishna Badhum, to bind, Damna Arop Atat Viryako Vida, without knowing or without knowledge of the supremely powerful personality of Godhead, because of intense love of Krishna. So to Mother Yashoda, Krishna is her ordinary boy. So she is not aware of the uncommon or great activities of Krishna and the great personality that Krishna is. So the great personality that Krishna is unknown to Mother Yashoda. And in this way, we see that the common village woman with uncommon love binds the uncommon supreme personality of Godhead like a common child. And Mother Yashoda threw away the stick because she became frightened that her son has become too frightened, and he may get overly depressed, and he may get over anxious. So to mitigate that, she threw away the stick. But nonetheless, she was thinking of Krishna's welfare in all circumstances. And because of that, she wanted to see a proper execution of an appropriate punishment to reprimand Krishna for what he has done, so that he improves himself. And secondly, so that he does not run into the forest, because Krishna commented, "Oh, you call me Markatasangi, a friend of a monkey, so I'll run off to the forest." So to keep Krishna safe, Mother Yashoda decided to bind him. But the main purpose behind binding him was to keep Krishna safe within the confinement of their own courtyard. Therefore, Mother's Bhakti is exemplary. Any questions on this verse? Okay, we'll continue. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So text 13 to 14. Na chantara na bahiryasya na purvam na pichaparam purva param bahischantar jagato yo jagatchayaha tammatvatmajam avyaktam martyalingam madhokshajam gopi kolu khale damna babadha prakritim yatha. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior and no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, he is all-pervading, because he is not under influence of element of time, for him, there is no difference between past, present, and future. He exists in his own transcendental form at all times, being absolute beyond relativity. He is free from distinctions between cause and effect, although he is the cause and effect of everything. That unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of senses and now appeared as a human child, and Mother Yashoda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden mortar with a rope. Would anyone like to read the paper, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read.
Thank you, Mataji.
In Bhagavad Gita 10.12, Krishna is described as the Supreme Brahman, Param Brahma, Param Dhama. The word Brahma means the greatest. Krishna is greater than greatest. He is limited and all-pervading. How can it be possible for the all-pervading to be measured or bound? Then again, Krishna is the time factor. Therefore, he is all-pervading, not only in space, but also in we have measurements of time. But although we are limited by past, present, and future, for Krishna, these do not exist. Every individual person can be measured, but Krishna has already shown that although he also is an individual, the entire cosmic manifestation is within his mouth. All these points considered, Krishna cannot be measured. How then did Yashoda want to measure him and bind him? We must conclude that this took place simply on the platform of pure transcendental love. This was the only cause. Advaitam achyutam anadimanantarupam adyam purana purusham navayauvanam cha vedeshu durlabhamadurlabhamatma bhakto govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma Samhita 5.33. Everything is one because Krishna is the supreme cause of everything. Krishna cannot be measured or calculated by Vedic knowledge. Vedeshu Durlabham. He is available only to devotees. Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau. Devotees can handle him because they can act on the basis of loving service. Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati Yavan Yaschashmi Tattva. Thus, Mother Yashoda wanted to bind him. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So until now, we see that this pastime has been predominated by Krishna being subordinate to Mother Yashoda. In that, even the great munis, Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragam Yo Vayu Rathapi Manupungava, that they, even through the speed of mind, are not able to catch Krishna. And yet that very Krishna, Mother Yashoda, very swiftly caught. However, now Mother Yashoda's proposition is to bind Krishna. And how can this be possible? Because of these points mentioned in the verse. But secondly, that now Krishna doesn't want to be bound. So we understand from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary that Krishna has two Shaktis. One Shakti is called Satya Sankalpa, which means that whatever Krishna's desire is, whatever his Sankalpa is, that is always Satya, that is always true. And the second Shakti or energy is Vibhuti Shakti. Vibhuti means he's just too great. And Prabhupada in the purport here mentions by the words Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Brahma means that he is the greatest. Param Brahma, he is the greatest. So now what has transpired? Because Mother specifically mentioned you are not allowed to play with your friends. And almost breakfast time is over. And little children, after breakfast, they want to venture out and play with their friends. The time for exchanging Vatsalya Rasa for Krishna is now over, and he wants to enjoy Sakhya Rasa along with his friends. But Mother Yashoda wants to reprimand him and bind him within the confinements of the courtyard. And not only that, she specifically mentions that you are not allowed to play with any toys, and you are not allowed to play with any of your friends. This is your punishment. But Krishna doesn't want that. And as a result, the supremacy of Krishna, his Vibhuti Shakti, his greatness comes into play and is mobilized by the Lila Shakti of the Lord, the pastime enacting energy of the Lord. So Shukdev Goswami therefore changed the mood over here, and there's a change in circumstances. And what is that change? Na chantar na bahir yasya. Who knows the limit of the interior and the exterior of the Supreme Lord? Na purvam napi chaparam. Who knows the beginning and the end of Krishna and his belly? Purva param bahishantar jagato yat jagat chaya. The whole cosmic creation is due to him, and he's all pervading everywhere. Everything in this world, in this sense, is totality of him. So how can an ever-expanding universe be bound by a common lady? He goes on to say, Tam matvatmajam avyaktam. However, Mother Yashoda, he considered Krishna matva, atmajam, her own son. To Mother Yashoda, Krishna is no great personality. Krishna is her own son. Avyaktam, the unmanifested, martyalingam, appearing as a human being, adhokshajam. But Krishna, through his unmanifested energy, he creates the whole world. In Bhagavad Gita 9.4, I think he says, Maya tatam midam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani nachaham dveshavastitaha. That due to my unmanifested energy, everything is created. Everything is in me, but I am not in them. And he goes on to say that, behold my mystic opulence, although I am the very source and creator of everything, I am aloof from it. So Krishna, although he is a personality, but he cannot be within the confinements of his creation. He is still above the creation. Krishna is the finite supreme personality, but he has infinite energy and infinite opulence. And that which is infinite, that which is ananta, how can it be confined if he doesn't agree to? And here, Krishna doesn't agree to be confined. Nonetheless, Mother Yashoda, Gopika, ulukhale, to the grinding mortar, damna, by the rope. So in Sanskrit, the rope is called damna. Baddha, bound, prakritim yatha, as done by a common human child. So Mother Yashoda is treating Krishna, who is uncommon, as a common child. Mother Yashoda, who is common, but her love for Krishna is uncommon. Such a beautiful exhibition of transcendental Lila. Here we see that Krishna here is described as adhokshaja, one who is beyond the perception of senses, and yet he appears as a human child. Prabhupada in the paper very nicely says, Vedeshu durlabham adurlabhamatum bhakto. Those who recite and sing the Vedas, for them Krishna is unreachable, durlabham. However, adurlabham atma bhakto, for a loving devotee who does devotional service, Krishna is sulabha, not adurlabha. he is Adurlabha and Sulabha, very easily attained. And Mother Yashoda here exhibits that. Let's go on to the next verse. Taddama bhadyamanasya swarabhakasya kritagasah dvayangulonam abhuttena sandadhenyachcha gopika. Translation. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind the offending child, she saw that the binding rope was short by a distance of width of 2 fingers. Thus she brought another rope to join in. Would anyone like to read the paper, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Please.
Here is the first chapter in Krishna's exhibition of unlimited potency to Mother Yashoda when she tried to bind him. The rope was too short. The Lord had already shown his unlimited potency by killing Putana, Saktasura, and Trinavarta. Now Krishna exhibited another vibhuti or display of potency to Mother Yashoda. Unless I agree, Krishna desired to show you cannot bind me. Thus, although Mother Yashoda, in her attempt to bind Krishna, added one rope after another, ultimately she was a failure. When Krishna agreed, however, she was successful. In other words, one must be in transcendental love with Krishna, but that does not mean that one can control Krishna. When Krishna is satisfied with one's devotional service, he does everything himself. Sevon mukhe hi jihvadu swayam eva isprutya adha. He reveals more and more to the devotee as the devotee advances in service. Jihvadu, this service begins with the tongue, with chanting and with taking the prasad of Krishna. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahayam indriyah. Sevon mukhe hi jihvadu swayam eva isprutya adha. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Taddama, that binding rope, Badhyamanasya, who was being bound by Mother Yashoda, Swa Arbhakasya, of her own son, Krita Agasaha, who was an offender, Dvi Angula, by measurement of 2 fingers, Unam, short, Abhuta, became, Tena, with that rope, Sandate, joined, Anyat cha, another rope, Gopika, Mother Yashoda. So we see that Krishna's sankalpa is that he doesn't want to be bound. And so Krishna's Satgat Sankalpa Shakti gives rise to his Vibhuti Shakti. And Krishna's Vibhuti Shakti makes Krishna infinite. And in that infinite situation, although Krishna's belly appears to be from Mother Yashoda's wrist to fist, very small, but when rope, even though joined together, it's 2 fingers short. Now this was happening in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And Krishna was creating a scene as well. Previously, Krishna actually called out for help, called out for Balram, called out for Mother Rohini. And by this time, other gopis who were the neighbors, they had come and they saw what is happening. And those gopis were very sarcastically, saying loudly to Mother Yashoda, "Oh Yashoda Mai, what has happened? Has he done something in your house today?" And they were smiling because every day it happens in their house. And today, when they saw Mother Yashoda trying to bind Krishna, it is happening in Yashoda's own house. So they were relishing, saying, "Oh, good on you, Mother Yashoda. when we used to complain that Krishna is causing havoc, then you never believed us. Now it has happened in your house. And when they saw Mother Yashoda trying to tie Krishna, and Dvi Angula, by the measurement of 2 fingers, Unam, the rope is short, they actually commented, "Oh Mother Yashoda, every day you tie a belt onto the waist of Krishna, onto the tiny waist of Krishna, and today you are unable to tie so many ropes onto his belly. Just leave your endeavor. Krishna doesn't wish to be tied today, and he will not be tied by you." But Mother Yashoda, she is not giving up. In the next following verses, we won't have time to go into that today, but we will see that Mother Yashoda is actually smiling. She's laboring hard, joining the ropes, putting the ropes around Krishna's belly, but the rope is 2 fingers short. She's getting worried inside. She is perspiring. She's getting anxious, but at the same time, she is smiling. So, in our devotional path as well, in our endeavors, there will be times when things don't go according to our plan, because Krishna has his own plan. So we at that time, we don't have to become discouraged. We should remember Mother Yashoda's endeavor, her nishtha, her determination. Until the cows come home, I will tie Krishna. Why? Because otherwise Krishna will be put in dangerous situation if he runs to the forest. So similarly, our endeavor is to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this does not have to be done grudgingly. It has to be done susukham kartum avyayam, happily. It should not be done as a burden. Oh no, I have to chant my 16 rounds. No, it has to be done happily, even though difficulties may be there, time may be short, but we learn this from Mother Yashoda. We should always have a smile in our face. We may be anxious inside, but still, with determination, if we do nice chanting of our rounds, then Srila Prabhupada actually quotes this nice verse here, Atha Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Grayam Indriyai, because Sri Krishna's name is not of this material world. Our difficulties are of this material world, but Krishna is above that difficulty. Krishna binds everyone in this material world by 3 modes of nature. Abrahma Sambha Paryantam Sarvam Maya Mayam Jagat. It is mentioned that from Brahma to an insignificant ant, Krishna binds everyone. And it is very difficult to get out of that bondage. But that very Krishna now is bound by Mother Yashoda. That very Krishna who binds everyone is now bound by Mother Yashoda. So our bondage of these 3 modes of material nature, they can be very easily be broken. How? Sevan mukhe hijivado, by service in mode of chanting, or chanting in mode of service rather. Swayam eva, Krishna himself will reveal himself to us, spurati atha, and one will be able to experience Krishna. So, in this way, the modes of 3, the ropes of the modes of 3 modes of nature will actually be not only loosened, but it can be broken by this process of chanting. And our endeavor is to keep at this. Our Guru Maharaj used to say, jap kar ke hat kar de, itna jap kar ke Yamaraj apne khata se tera naam rad kar de. That we should chant to that extent that we cross all limits, that even Yamaraja becomes bound to cross our names from his diary. And this is our endeavor. Mother Yashoda's endeavor here is to tie Krishna. Our endeavor is to chant and glorify Krishna. It's dot on 7, just few announcements. So tomorrow's class actually will have an opportunity to get together at Brisbane Bhakti Yoga Hare Krsna Temple in Burbank. So the class there will start at 7:30, and the class will be a bit longer. It will go for almost 1 hour. So it'd be nice if all of you can come over there, and after that, join in Prasadam. Actually, I was reading the verses, and in one of the verses here, it is very nicely mentioned that the devotees should come together and have Prasadam. I thought that, actually in this very verse, so the last line of the purport here is that we are discussing verse number 15, Jivvado. This service begins with the tongue, with chanting, and with taking prasada of Krishna. So I take it as an indication that Krishna himself and Prabhupada himself is inviting all of us to come together tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. at Brisbane Bhakti Yoga at Burbank. Here, Damodar pastime, discuss, and then jointly have Prasadam. Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. A wonderful and blissful Krishna conscious day. And this evening, we will be having a wonderful class by His Grace Sakirai Prabhu at Burbank. The topic is My Sweet Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. His Grace Krishna Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhupada ki Jai. For Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.